Welcome to the Santa Maria Hydroelectric Power Project. This project will produce renewable energy without causing pollution. It will also generate work and improve living conditions for the inhabitants of neighboring communities, while respecting their rights and the environment. In this area of the project, near Sarabamba, plant life is scarce and most of the area is arid. The Pampas River cuts through a canyon, making it difficult to irrigate or get water to the nearby communities that are located hundreds of meters above the water level. The people collect water for crops, livestock, and personal use from the streams that flow into the Pampas River over 2,000 meters above sea level. The dam near Huacrahuilca Canyon will be 137 meters tall. It will be built using the latest in engineering technology. The dam will collect water from the Pampas and Torobamba rivers during the rainy seasons. This water will then be transported to the Apurimac River by a 28-kilometer-long tunnel. The altitude gained as a result of the tunnel will be close to 900 meters. The reservoir's water level, however, will be well below nearby settlements. It will not affect the villages of Amarupampa and Sarabamba, which are closest to the dam, nor any of the other nearby populations. This is where the Pampas River meets the Torobamba River, and although this area has two rivers, the vegetation is scarce and the land is fallow. The depth at which these rivers flow makes them inaccessible and useless for farming, as confirmed by the Irrigation Board and the National Water Authority. The water will reach within 1 kilometer of Rosas Pampa without affecting this village. Likewise, people living along the shores of the dam will be able to start aquaculture projects in the reservoir. Additionally, building the dam and creating the reservoir will open up development possibilities for tourism, like water sports and fishing. All these activities will benefit the people living in the project area. Although the terrain has little vegetation, the construction of the dam will guarantee the stability of the hillsides. Likewise, the dam will not create erosion or damage the ground. Energia Azul will develop an extensive forestation program along the hillsides of the Torobamba and Pampas rivers to improve surface water retention and reduce ground erosion. The water intake structure marks the start of the 28-kilometer tunnel that will take the reservoir's water to the Apurimac River to generate electricity. The entire length of the tunnel will be very deep. About 8 kilometers will have more than 2,000 meters of rock overburden. The tunnel will be built with state-of-the-art technology to avoid leakage out to, or seepage in from, the ponds, streams, and brooks above the tunnel. The project's feasibility study will define the best route for the tunnel. The Pichihuilca Lagoon will not be at risk since it is located more than 2 kilometers away from the initial tunnel location and about 2 kilometers above the tunnel. Here we are on the jungle side of the project, in Leche Mayo, where the tunnel ends and the water starts its drop inside two large pressure pipes. The water will travel almost 1 kilometer at full speed towards the turbines situated in the powerhouse, where the electricity is generated. Once the water is used to generate electricity, it will flow into the Apurimac River at low speed in order to protect the river from environmental damage. Furthermore, the turbinated water will be rich in oxygen, which will have a positive impact on the flora and fauna of the Apurimac River. The power produced by the Santa Maria hydroelectric power plant will be delivered to the national interconnected system and will help to meet the nation's domestic demand. This will be the location of some of the project's main components. This will translate into great direct and indirect employment opportunities during the construction phase. Among other activities, the project will require the construction of several access roads. These will provide modern transportation and communication for the first time to the dam and reservoir area, and will also substantially improve safety standards in the project area. Now we are returning to the dam near Sarabamba and Amarupampa to start our run down the Pampas River until we reach the Apurimac. Downriver after the dam on the Pampas River, there will be enough water discharged from the upstream dam to satisfy all current and future water needs along this section. The few crops and inhabitants one sees are separated by great stretches of Pampas River canyons. These make it impossible to pump water, and therefore the land is not cultivated. The brooks that empty into the Pampas River are the ones that serve to irrigate the small fields that are cultivated. This is the confluence of the Pampas and Apurimac rivers. Now we are traveling across the Apurimac River, heading towards Lechemayo. The Apurimac River will not be affected by this project. Therefore, transportation along the Apurimac will not change. It will continue to be a waterway for the nearby villages to communicate along this great river, which is one of the large tributaries of the Amazon basin. The vegetation and weather differ as we travel down the Apurimac River. The project will not alter this. To the contrary, there will be forestry campaigns and special programs to care for the environment, fauna and flora. We have traveled around the entire project. We are again at Lechemayo, where this flight ends. We hope you now have a better idea of this great project. It will bring progress to the region and sustainable development to the neighboring communities. The company will coordinate with the central and regional governments to improve living conditions in the area. Discussions have started with several government entities to improve water and sewage systems, education, roads, medical outposts, and rural electrification. Thank you on behalf of Energia Azul and its management.